So, like, they're totally not gonna kill Rick Grimes.
Yeah, there's no way they would do that. Hell fuck. Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're just going to talk real quickly about what we all saw in that last episode of The Walking Dead, that shocking ending, and then talk a little bit about what we think might happen this Sunday on during Rick Grimes' final episode. But before we get into it, make sure to comment below. Let us know what you think of this video. Let us know what you think is going to happen this Sunday. This is perhaps like the biggest episode in the history of the whole show. Follow all of our social channels. Make sure to like the Facebook page and subscribe on YouTube. So talk about a cliffhanger. I mean, the show is known for like building suspense somewhat artificially at points, but my God, I don't think I've ever been more like antsy at the end of an episode than I was during this last one.
Really?
It looked pretty well. Look, they've explicitly stated that these are the final episodes of Rick Grimes, and that next week is going to be his final episode. They said it this time specifically at the end of this episode. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, everybody's talking about the helicopter thing. I kind of like that theory, but it does look pretty bad at the end of this episode. So I don't know. As
I stated at our panel, I hope you guys check that out, by the way.
Yes. Make sure to look out for that one on Facebook and YouTube.
Either Rick is going to be able to save himself, or someone will do the saving for him. I don't know how, you know, him being impaled, like that's not going to kill him. There wasn't a death blow or anything. And while the herd looks very dire, they're not going to let Rick go out like that. They're just not.
Well,
also, I guess what gives me the most pause, the most calm, I guess, the most confidence in how I feel about him being whisked away by a helicopter or whatever, was one, all the foreshadowing we saw last season.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the clips in his dream, but also because I know that The Walking Dead, like the universe of The Walking Dead, is going to be expanding into film. And if you're going to have a movie, the first film that you would do would be about
Rick Grimes.
Exactly.
So like a little bit of an analysis of like some of those sneak peeks. So luckily they didn't, it wasn't a complete cliffhanger, because they did like immediately release the first 2 minutes of the next episode. It's all over YouTube. You know, it shows him take his belt and put it like over one of the rebars up top and pull himself off of that piece of rebar. Really? Yeah, they put it out like that Sunday night. I showed it to you. Remember, we were in the hotel room. You were half asleep. Karen saw it. And so, I mean, he gets off that piece of rebar, and he crawls over to the horse, and the horse slowly starts taking him away. But he looks like really bad. I mean, he's like clutching his side, and his head is like bobbing up and down. He looks like he's like barely conscious while he's on that horse. And then in the sneak peek, they also showed a little bit of like the dream hallucination sequence that Angela Kang was talking about in Talking Dead that we have to look forward to. And I think the most important part of that whole thing is that at one point he looks at himself in the hospital bed, and he looks out the window, and there's this like big thing of crows that's gathering like in the middle of Atlanta. And, you know, traditionally we always think of crows as like death, right? Like they circle around somebody who's about to die and all that stuff. But then as they start flying towards him in the window, they transform into helicopters. And to me, the way I read that was like, oh, the thing that normally would be a symbol of death just turned into a symbol of rescue or something.
Wait, the only thing about those crows is that I believe those are the same type of cluster of birds he saw while with Judith and Michonne during Family Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then that turns out to be the very thing that rescues him. So I don't think it necessarily was ominous, although typically crows aren't the best thing to see. They look like they were having a lot of fun watching them cluster around and fly in the air, so
yeah,
I think it's not necessarily a bad deal.
I don't know, we're just gonna have to see. I mean,
but note the pale horse.
Yeah, the white horse. Yeah.
Which,
by the way, that was like one thing that I did think was a little bit ridiculous about this last episode, because the whole like gunfight goes down with Carol against those asshole saviors who like come to and then, you know, somebody shoots and the horse gets scared and flies off in the distance, and it just so happens to go like right where Rick is. It's like how did it know to like go exactly where Rick and Daryl were?
I didn't think that they were even that close to the site. But I think what's interesting is that when I saw that, and they're so good at having double meanings. You know, a pale horse and
we looked this up. Yeah, explain
those.
those.
Was behind me, but there's also another part to that very same quote where a different pale horse. I carry the bow, I carry the cross, and he conquers, like, he conquers the obstacle.
Yeah,
I can't remember the
we'll
exact
put the whole
quote.
quote like on the screen right here, but it's like something to the effect of like basically it could either mean death or it could mean like survival, and he goes on fighting after that. So they obviously like chose a quote that has an ambiguous sort of like could go either way type of a meaning, right? Like to further fucking confuse us. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. It's good. Whatever's, you know, what's going on so far. I mean, I love like this whole season so far. It's much better than the last season, and even better than season 7 in my opinion.
And also looking forward to Andy being on Talking Dead, and I'm really hoping that that stuff we recorded for AMC gets shown, because I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but like at San Diego Comic-Con, AMC like pulled us up into their studio and like shot this whole thing with us about like our opinion on the show and whatnot.
And Andy's departure.
Yeah, and Andy's impending departure, and we have not seen or heard anything about it ever since then. It wasn't played at the premiere because people would have told us. I don't know when they're going to use it. We're kind of curious as to when that's going to pop up. I'm sure they're going to use it for something. Also, speaking of Comic-Cons, we just got done with Walker Stalker, which is why this like video is in a weird format.
Well, I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, like we're still recovering. I mean, that was a crazy 4 days. All the people that came up to us and took photos with us and everything, thank you guys so much. We're gonna post all of them eventually. I just haven't had enough time to like edit everything and get everything out there, so you'll start to slowly see those trickle in over the course of the next couple days and weeks.
And if you want to see us at another convention, please be sure to request us with the respective con to invite us as guests. We'd love to.
Anyway, guys, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about this coming episode. This episode that we're about to see on Sunday is probably going to be like the most important event of the whole show so far, so it's going to be a big one. And tune into our live stream as we discuss it while we're watching it. Make sure to like the Facebook page, subscribe on YouTube, follow all of our social channels below. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you this Sunday. Bye-bye.